What are some of the technology tools that are enabling you all to do this? What are the things that, you're just, you said it, Chris, before, you're at your heart a nerd. So what are you nerding out on? What are you using? Are you developing your own things? What's going on?
Yeah, good question. We are, a data-based sort of group, right? That's where everything's at right now. And just like the rest of the world, we're not developing the designs. We are going to take someone else's design and create those Lego pieces, like you say, Jeff. Yeah, we have softwares that are going to take those things, panelize them, create the sort of level of detail models from a very high, rough sort of DD level thing that customers want early, down to the fab level stuff that I'm going to give David and his team to roll for them and get us out to the field. So yeah, it's what they've developed are things that allow us to get from. Again, you can create studs in Revit and things like that, but it's not that tool's not built for it. It's a real fab level sort of understanding to create bill of materials, automate the sheet creation, automate the detail creation, and to be able to kick those things out in a systematic, standardized way that all of David's guys and the machine can take in and digest and deliver, the directions that we gave it. So, yeah, it's sort of this funny middleware. We got to talk to design, and we got to spit things to the most finite level out to those machines, and that's really what these softwares are doing.
Ooh. Now, are they custom? David, you're leaning in.
Yeah.
Are they custom?
We use a manufacturing machine to roll our own cold form studs. There's a lot of manufacturers of those out there. We use FrameCAD is the brand we have in house here. And there's other systems like that. The gist of it is we're taking a design out of Revit and then more or less printing it on this machine. So it's, they're going to be cut to length and labeled and all of the things that you would want in terms of allowing easy assembly. These machines will do that for us. So really from Chris's hands into mine, I add it to a machine, and it's my responsibility to make sure it meets all the right requirements in terms of size and gauge and all of that. And the machine does the rest.
So next level piece of that, we just celebrated our 5th year anniversary of BLUvera being in business. We just partnered up with another engineering partner that has developed customized software to kind of knit some of these things together. Again, as you guys all know, there's an interoperability issue in the broader construction tech world. We're finding that too. So the machines that we're using, they like keeping their coding right back where they are, and to do the round trip from design to machine and back, that's not been possible. So now we are partnering up with some other folks that have built these things. Again, that's their way around the round trip of this data that we need, and being around partners that understand that and that are smart enough to build these things. That's sort of our next move that we just made.
This has just been what's been mind blowing to me. What was just explained here, because again, on the crew, we've had all these discussions with laser scanning and like GIS to BIM or scan to BIM and like the macro to BIM, but this is the whole other side of the coin of like BIM to CAM, to computer aided manufacturing, whereas that's always traditionally been a CAD to CAM, computer aided design, but we do need to be in a BIM world if we're actually going to coordinate it correctly. Yeah. And that is way easier said than done when you get in the nuts and bolts of the way Revit works and fractional differences with translations and how it how it complicates things, and things have to start moving back and forth, and knowing that those limitations probably aren't going to go away anytime soon. Like, how do you maybe change the process to better avoid those things from happening? I mean, I think that's kind of the next frontier of where we're at in this, is that there are just certain limitations in the realities of these different scopes of macro to micro in the digital world. And I mean, that's kind of my outsider's assessment as I've been learning more about, the whole kind of FrameCAD supply chain and all these different players that are involved, and, trying to make sense of, when is the best time for engineering and BIM coordination and all that stuff. And, Chris, David, would love to, hear your thoughts, or, what you've found from 12 years ago till now, has maybe improved over that, or if some of it maybe is still kind of, it's the same stuff, just, repeated in maybe, faster machines. How far have we come, Chris?
A good ways, right? I kept thinking about, as you're talking there, we are still in the same sort of design software space. Everybody is latched to Autodesk design tools, good and bad in many ways, right? I will say there's been a different take of coming here and dealing with the size of models has increased. The amount of faces that we're dealing with in that in sort of the Revit design space. Again, this cold form structure we're building right now. Each floor, which equates to walls and floors above, it's 15 to 18 gigs per floor. So now we've got this massive big data thing that the old partner in the room can't handle. So yes, now interoperability. Now we're talking about size and data and being able to slim that thing down, so that we can actually use the damn thing. Again, I don't know that I would have guessed this before I came here to BLUvera and became so close to this data. But it's a problem that has changed the way me and the coordination teams are working, because we don't have free, unfettered access to the data. Again, interesting and different than I would have thought, 6 months ago prior to being here.
I think on my side of the fence, just in terms of bringing what's designed in the virtual world into the physical world, anytime we have a quality issue within that interaction, it's where a human had to do something manually, right? So from my perspective, we need to find a way to integrate Revit with the manufacturing softwares that we use, right? Just to take the human error aspect out of it. That's our biggest pain point in that interaction right now, I would say.